And hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Mrs. V.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, y'all.
Can you
Wait.
guys hear me?
Yes,
I
loud
can't
and
see you
clear.
guys. Michelle, can you see me?
I can't see you. No.
Yeah, I can't see Miss VS either. Okay.
No, but I can hear you, and I don't know if I have to, this is new for me, so I have to figure out the group layout and all. I've added you all to the stream, so let's see. I like to get my music. All right, y'all. Hey, Larry, how are you? Hey, Lydia. Hey, Kay. And welcome, Sarah.
Okay.
Welcome, Daniel. Thank you, Joan, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Hey, Diane, how are you? All right. Hey, Anna.
Hi, guys.
All right.
I didn't see you guys say hello. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hopefully
Wait,
you all can hear them.
wait. They can't hear
But
us? I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. They should be able to, but
Okay.
because I added you into the stream. But I have an overlay up, so that's usually what I have up. All right. Enough people. All right. Let me jump over here. Yeah, StreamYard. Oh, okay. StreamYard was
Okay.
showing me
Okay.
one person. I'm like, what happened?
No. They can all hear us. I think they can hear Tina as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry said they can hear.
Maybe we should do a members only chat podcast, Michelle. But it'll be hard to do because of our Patreons. They won't be able to
Yeah.
support. But actually, we've done it before, Michelle. Remember when we did the members and Patreon only podcast?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. But
yeah,
was it? I
yeah.
don't think it was. Was it live? I don't
No,
think that it
it
was
was
live.
It was live. Yeah, it was live,
Oh,
but
okay.
they only had
Have y'all
they
missed their voices?
yeah, it was live, but I know how to do it. I figured it out.
Okay.
I was like,
Cool.
we've done this a few times before. I think we're gonna start doing that more
Oh, there
this
you
year.
go. All right.
But
So,
like the rest
welcome
of the people won't know.
everybody to Sussex Saturday. As you can hear, the voices of Tina and Michelle of Sussex Squad Podcast. So excited that they're here. Before we get started with the conversation with them, I wanted to do the Black History segment that I've been doing since the beginning of the month. First, I'm going to put the disclaimer up for the Copyright Act of 1976 is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. You know how we do on this. Okay, so my favorite quote of Harry and Meghan: each of us can change our communities, all of us can change the world. All right, now let me just get The little header that I have. All right, so it's day 5. My little icon is blocking it. Um, I wanted to start out with today. I am going to highlight Thurgood Marshall. He was an American lawyer and civil rights activist. He successfully argued 29 of 32 cases before the Supreme Court. The most notable case he argued was Brown versus the Board of Education, Topeka, in 1954. Thurgood Marshall has also been appointed to the Second Circuit of the U.S. Court of Appeals by John F. Kennedy in 1965 and U.S. Solicitor General by President Johnson in 1965. Excuse me. The U.S. Court of Appeals by Kennedy in 61 and then the Solicitor General in 65. On June 13th, a good date for those that know me, June 13th, 1967, Thurgood Marshall was nominated by Lyndon Johnson to the Supreme Court. He was the first Black Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. He sat on the bench of the Supreme Court from October 1967 until October 1991, 24 years. Thurgood Marshall, born on July 2nd, 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland, died on January 24th, 1993 at Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland. The squad has been also highlighting some notable African Americans, Blacks. And today for Squaddie Corner, we have Constance Baker Motley. Constance Baker Motley was a key strategist of the civil rights movement, lawyer, judge, state senator, and borough president of Manhattan, New York City. Constance Baker Motley became the first African American woman to serve as a federal judge in 1966 when Lyndon Johnson appointed her. Motley graduated from Columbia Law School in 1946. While studying law, she went to work for the NAACP legal staff, joining Robert L. Carter, who later served with Motley as a federal judge. The boss who hired Motley, future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall.
Mm.
While studying law, she went to work for the NAACP's legal staff, joining Robert L. Carter, who later served with Motley as a federal judge, as I said before. During her time with the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, she personally argued 10 Supreme Court cases, winning 9, and assisted in nearly 60 cases that reached the High Court. In 1965, she left the NAACP and entered New York elected politics, becoming the first African American woman in the state Senate and the first woman elected Manhattan Borough President. President Johnson appointed her to the Southern District of New York in 1966. Constance Baker Motley, born on September 14th, 1921 in New Haven, Connecticut, died on September 28th, 2005 in New York, New York. And that is our Black History moment. And when I put that together on my own, I didn't realize the connection between the two of them until I was reading through her history. And that took me out a little bit. So
Yeah, but it was a beautiful connection. It's, yeah.
So everyone, welcome to the members only chat. I did see someone that I didn't think was a member, and I'm just looking back into the chat. Okay, so I do want to do a quick little intro, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you all, as there are a lot within the audience of my stream that are not squaddies. So I just want to let you all speak for yourself. So today we have Tina and Michelle, and they are the creators of the Sussex Squad Podcast. They have been lifesavers for many of the Sussex Squad for the last 4 years, 5 years now. Is it going on 5 years?
No, 3. 3 years,
3?
Tina.
That's
Am I
it?
crazy?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
it's more.
we're gonna be through. Actually, holy
It's
shit.
3. Shit.
It's 3 years like tomorrow.
Oh, look
That
at
Yeah.
that we
that.
started our
Okay.
podcast. Yeah, yeah,
See,
three
look at
years.
that. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so I'll let both of you just introduce yourselves individually.
Go ahead, Tina.
Hi guys, I am Tina. I am the other half of the Sussex Squad Podcast, and all around insane, crying, chaotic, um, but soft-hearted and love all things Harry and Meghan. So
Yep. So, guys, this is Michelle, the other half of the Sussex Squad podcast. Um, what am I, Tina? I don't even know.
pragmatic, sensible,
Yeah.
normal, not chaotic.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, you're not chaotic, but you're pragmatic. When I'm being Tina, you're
Yeah,
being Michelle, and then
Michelle.
there are times you are being Tina, and I have to be Michelle.
That's true. That's true.
And it's a good balance.
Yeah.
So, we all appreciate it. So, all right. As this is the A members only chat, I'm going to now just open the chat up to the members to ask questions. Of course, we know they're adults and they're going to be respectful, and we're not going to have any crazy drama.
It's going to be okay.
Oh, yes.
This
Of
is
course.
our first podcast, Tina, outside our podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
we've never done another podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try not to cry.
It's going to be
These
okay.
two have been so supportive of me even before I started my own like channel and doing live streams, etc. So, I've worked for them behind the scenes and really just got to know them. And I have a lot of love and respect for those two. So, okay.
You love you, Mrs. V.
Oh,
We
stop.
miss you,
I'm gonna
Diane.
mute
Yes, we love
myself.
you, Miss B, and like you know how I feel about you. So
I know we're
I'm
not
not
gonna get
here.
started. We're not
You're
gonna get
not about
started
to
because
make
we'll
me
both be
cry.
crying.
So
We'll both be crying on here. Okay. All right.
yeah,
Lydia
so
dropped in a question to you all. How have you been, ladies?
we're good. I mean, we've been busy. There's a lot going on. I'm sitting in my basement living room right now, and I'm filled with a bunch of products that I'm shipping out to customers. And so I've been busy, and we're doing great. Like life is good. I can't complain. Michelle?
Yeah, so I was in the middle of exams throughout the whole December and January. So I'm done with that. And I passed everything, as I said on Twitter
Yay,
this past week.
congrats.
Oh my god, yeah. I have the biggest chunk staying in my mind right now because I have to do the thesis. So this is why we haven't been doing a lot of podcasts the past few weeks, because I needed this to be done, guys. I needed this to be gone. I think I started studying a year before. I think I was my second year when we started the podcast, right, Tina? I think either was my second year or I was halfway through my first year.
I think you
So
were
now,
halfway through your first year.
am I halfway? Okay. So now yeah, I think I was halfway through my first year. And now I'm my fourth year and it's my last one. I just have the thesis and then I'm done. So yeah.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah.
Yay,
Yeah.
congrats. All right. We're going to celebrate. You're going to have a little celebration or something that
Yeah.
we can all
Yeah. I mean, I
celebrate.
don't
Yeah.
drink alcohol. Tina's
Well,
gonna drink
no,
for
now
me.
you know. There you go. We'll drink for you. Have no
There
fear.
you
Um, I'm just going to go up a little bit because I just wanted you to see just that comment, just so you know how much you are loved. You
go.
both
Oh.
are loved. All right. Larry. Okay, here's a question from Diane that you've probably answered in a way.
Yeah.
Have you
Um,
missed us? We missed you.
we miss you guys, and we'll be back. I don't know when we're gonna be back, and I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, so
Hmm.
as some of you guys might know, if you don't listen to our podcast, let me just kind of redo this for you guys. But my husband and I are bi-coastal right now. I'm in the process of moving. So every 3 weeks, one of us is traveling either to the East Coast or to the West Coast. So I've been doing a lot of traveling. So I miss you guys. And, I've been busy with work, my day job, and then my businesses. And one of them really took off. And another one I just started. And so it's been busy, but we miss you. We really do. And Michelle and I just have to figure out a good time to kind of get back to podcasting for a little bit. I mean, we were going to end the podcast last year, and we're still going to, but we wanted to end it properly.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I know. Yeah. But the
We're
thing
not,
also
we're
is
not
that
going to want to hear that, so it's
yeah.
okay though.
No. The thing also we talked about the podcast, Tina, and I, like in terms of how it should like end or whatever. The reason, again, you guys know this. The reason why we did a podcast is because we generally felt that Meghan was in jeopardy over in that place. Now that she has left, and you can clearly see that there is they are okay now, it's harder for us to come back and call out the BS. It's not really so much that for me that was the goal of the podcast. It was to make people know what these people were doing, and I think we've done our job. And I'm not talking about me and Tina per se. I'm talking as a squad. I think we did our job. I think the way that British press and the way that family has treated them has entered people's mind.
Yeah.
And so this is what we wanted. People didn't care back in 2019. People were just, they were looking the other way. They didn't care. And now we're in 2022 and people know. And that is
so true.
That was the goal. That was the goal. So that's why it becomes harder and harder to force ourselves to come back and to do the podcast. I miss the people. I miss the squad. But it's not really, the podcast wasn't done to just for us, just to make a podcast. There was a clear
purpose.
There was at the time that Tina and I we made this podcast, guys, there was no positive podcast on Meghan anywhere.
No.
Any podcast where they were talking about the royal, talking about Harry, Meghan, and all of them were negative about her, all of them. And that's why we decided to do one. So yeah,
and we're grateful for that. Truly.
Yeah, and also, if we were, I remember it was October of 2018, and I never knew Michelle, and this smear campaign started, and I was in such distress about it. And I remember going on Twitter and asking if anyone wanted to do a podcast, and somebody introduced me to Michelle. And so we kind of spent time talking as much as possible about what we wanted to do. And we just knew that we needed, somebody needed to speak up, and we saw something that was wrong, and we felt like somebody needed to speak up, and people weren't speaking up for Meghan. And there were all these other podcasts out there, but it was very whitewashed with this narrative of perpetuating this narrative of Meghan that she wasn't, right? And we were like, look, we're going to call this out. And it's so funny because a lot of things has happened since we talked to you guys on our podcast the last time. But but what was interesting is I remember very clearly I was walking into a mall, and I had to go to outside the mall because it was so loud, and I was on the phone with Michelle. And Michelle and I were talking about how we were even going to present ourselves on the podcast. And we were like, oh, we're going to be really open about ourselves. And next thing you know, December 12th, something happened in the squad that hadn't happened before, where Richard Palmer got the identity of a squaddie and called their jobs. And immediately me and Michelle like, oh God, we gotta, we don't care about the squaddies knowing who we are, but we have to protect ourselves from crazy people, right?
Yeah.
And the British press. So we changed how we were even going to present ourselves, because we realized that this is more serious than just calling out the BS, right?
Right.
Like these people, there is an agenda, and it's bigger than just us calling it out. We have to
Hmm.
protect ourselves, our family, and like we kind of restructured everything. That idea is used against myself specifically by certain squaddies, like, oh, she doesn't tell you guys who she is, whatever. But the reason we don't is because we didn't do that for the squad. Like squaddies like Miss VSNC can tell you, she knows who I am. She knows where
Right.
I live. She has my phone number. There are many squaddies here who have my phone number, who can call me. I'm very open with squaddies. That has also been used against me. But, I say all that to say that, and just kind of tying up what Michelle said, our goal here was to really speak up for Meghan because she couldn't speak for herself, and to call
Right.
out things as we saw it,
Hmm.
so
And
yeah.
the
So I just,
fact that there weren't any, there's still not enough positive. There's more positive channels and podcasts, but we collectively don't even outweigh the negative that's out there, which floors me because when I was doing a little research, I was floored to see how when you started the podcast to
well,
another
we did
channel that I
encourage
won't
a lot of
mention.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We did encourage a lot of squaddies to start, like people will come. And that's why if you ever come to me and say, hey, I want to start something, I'm like, yes, what do you need?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
need me
yeah.
to
right,
help
right.
you with?
Yeah,
Because
you
like
always have been.
yeah, we need to like saturate and push out. Rosa Roberts, we miss you too. We need to saturate and just like, because let me tell you, there's more of these haters than, in terms of like putting out the hateness, right?
Hmm.
We need to counter that, and the only way we can is if people kind of start up their own platforms in whatever fashion. It doesn't have to be a podcast, it could be a
Right,
website, it could be a
right.
blog, it could be whatever. And there are
Just
things,
truly supports.
yeah, to really
Supports
support.
Harry and Meghan genuinely, not,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So for us, it wasn't about like making money. I don't even know if I told Michelle this. I pulled out earnings for taxes the other day, and
Yeah.
to file taxes, and just what we bring in alone doesn't even cover social media managers that we bring on and pay.
Mhm,
It doesn't even cover
mhm.
that,
Hmm.
and like, but we are fine. Like it helps us defray the cost. It's not about money. Like
Right.
Michelle and I deep out of into our pocket thousands and thousands and thousands, almost $10,000 a year for
Mhm.
this, right? And it's so funny because I was talking to my accountant, and she was just like, wait, this is like literally you're taking so much loss just doing this, and we'll, just the conversations about it.
Right.
So you can't go into it for the idea of making money.
Mhm.
You have to go into it with the idea of, I mean, and then like, look at the haters. They're making three
I
point four
know.
million
I
dollars
know. That just
hating on Meghan, and
Yeah.
people are
yep.
mad at us that we
For
have
what
a
you get, exactly, for what
monetized
you
podcast, because
exactly.
we got $14,000 last year, and we spent over $26,000. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, think about
Yeah.
it. Like,
It
like
it's
it's
it's truly
dumb.
a mindset, and I remember the noise initially when people were like, "Oh, well, you can't
Initially,
don't
no,
monetize and don't do this and don't do that." And
no,
it's like, "What are you
initially, yeah.
talking about? What are you talking about?" Like, it's just a whole lot. Of course, now people see a little bit differently, I hope. I don't know all the noise because, as not working with you all behind the scenes anymore, rightly so, I'm not involved and I don't see the comments. Now, y'all that are listening, I saw comments. I didn't see all of them, but I saw comments. And some of you people, I just want to say, were very mean and nasty. Um, but on the note, Joyce, let me just say thank you very much for the super sticker. Okay. I just wanted to say that quickly.
Joyce, thank you for supporting her. And I just want to say that, at the end of the day, and just tying up what Michelle was trying to say, like our mission is complete. And if we do a podcast, it's because me and Michelle just feel like saying something about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we will end the podcast properly. But we're here for Miss VSNC's podcast today, and we're doing good. Michelle and I are doing good. We're in a good place. We love her, and we love each other, and we love Miss VSNC, and we want to support her
Yeah.
podcast.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Meghan is
you.
doing good as well.
Yeah.
She's, I mean, look at Harry. You can tell that is it. Look at first of
Oh
all,
my
first
gosh, he
of
looks
all,
so
first-
different. How come he looks different every time we see him? Can I just
because
ask that question?
he is
You know what?
thriving. She is putting it on him. Okay, like
No,
she
no,
is.
but remember, who said, who was it? I remember reading a screenshot of this is him talking while he was like back in when he was in his 20s, and he was talking about someone put a screenshot of an article where he's talking about not receiving phone call from family where he was in
Oh yeah,
Afghanistan.
yeah,
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
The
he was
video, yeah.
talking and he was talking about the different sides of him, and how he was himself, and then how he was a different person with his family, and then
Yep.
how he was outside with the public.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you realize that he is just himself right now. He is, guys, like he would go to Christmas lunch, right, to Christmas dinners and stuff, and there would be like stuff like rules to follow, and such, you can eat only this, you can dress only this way, you have to go,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a whole schedule that he has to go through. And here he's like celebrating Christmas, like
Just being
just like
himself. Mm-hmm.
just like normal, and he's raising his kids normal, like in a
And he
normal
said he wanted
fashion.
to do that. I don't know if people have ever heard him, but in interviews, he's always said
Yeah.
that's what he wanted to do with his children. So,
Yeah, he
yeah,
absolutely hated his childhood. I'm telling
yeah,
you, he hated his childhood, and he's making sure that his kids don't go through this same. Like that's what he made sure
oh,
of.
thank goodness.
And yeah, because you don't, um, people don't. I think for me, I was looking at it. Sometimes you have people who went through shit. I don't know if I can curse it. I'm sorry.
Yes, you can. I'm sure
Okay.
some are like sitting in the clouds listening, waiting for Michelle. Yes, there you go.
Okay, I'm
You got
sorry.
Michelle.
I,
There you
I'm
go. She's seeing y'all.
apologizing in advance,
No,
guys.
no,
Okay.
no. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. No, no.
Of course, if you get riled up, I already know. I can mute you.
That's true.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
no.
Oh
So yeah,
shit! I'm gonna stop muting Michelle.
yeah, you can't mute me. You can't.
She
I
can. I
can't.
think she can unmute quickly, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Mhm.
even mute her because we have the account, a paid account where we can have two people. So like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, that's one of the things we actually like pay like more money. Let me stop. Let me
Okay.
just
Okay.
stop because
No,
I
no,
hate
no.
this.
I just want to say that some people go through shit, and they want, and instead of wanting better for someone else, they actually want them to go through the same
Right.
shit as well.
Hmm.
You notice there's some people generally like, I went through some shit, so I want you to go through that
Want
as
you to
well.
go through it and hurt
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then you
And
have
I mean,
people
Harry
who,
talked about that.
yeah,
Harry
yeah.
talked
And
about
then
the
you
fact
have
that his
people who
father.
go through that, who go through some shit and want to spare other people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Harry is clearly that. Sometimes someone was saying to me, how is Harry different? How is Harry different in comparison to all the other members in that trash family? It's because he doesn't want, in his family he was seen as lesser just because he was born second. So
Right.
he
Hmm.
doesn't want people to feel that way as well. He just does. He knows how bad it is
How
to
that
feel this
feels.
way,
Yeah.
and so
Exactly.
he makes sure that other people don't feel it. That's what he is doing, and that's why he's the best one out of the bunch. And that's why they're all upset right now because he's gone, because they know that they know he's the best of the bunch.
There you go.
Nobody is crying for the pedo. Nobody is crying for the others, but they're crying for Harry because they know he's the best of the bunch.
Yep. They try everything to get him back. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back into the chat and just kind of, let me see, catch up to where they're at this moment. I did see a lot of comments flying, but
Yeah.
okay, here's a question. Have you watched much of Betterup? Um, I have committed to 5 minutes daily breathing exercises. That's my takeaway. How about you?
So I didn't get to watch the whole Better Up thing because I was at work, and I got to see parts of it. And I have to say, like, for me, I mean, I've told you guys this on the podcast. I have my whole routine in the morning. When I first wake up, I actually have my little journal at my bedside, right? And I've switched from physical paper journal to digital, and I set my intentions for the day. I set 5 things I want to do for the day, and I that's how I'm intentional with myself for the
Mm-hmm.
day. And I set my intentions for 5 minutes, and I say, five things I want to do for the day, and I just write down. It could be like, I want to smile more, I want to be more, introspective, I want to, maybe I wasn't as nice to people the day before, so I'm going to work on that, right? And then I will do one tangible thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I need to fulfill orders for my business. Like, I need to fulfill 10 orders at least for my business today. And then at the end of the day, for me, I also do the same thing. I go through and I check mark the things that I've accomplished, right? And say, okay, I check mark, oh, I did 5 out of 5, or I only got 2 out of 5. Tomorrow I need to do better. So those things that I didn't accomplish the day before then goes into that 5 minutes. So I the conversation about self-care, that's self-care, like making sure that I am intentional with who I am and how
Mm-hmm.
I process my day. And but I did not get a chance to actually watch the whole Better Up thing because I was at work. And
Excuse
when
the
I'm at
dogs in the
work,
background,
no
everybody.
worries, it's okay.
Oh,
They're
I thought
part
it
of the
was
podcast.
Sasha.
No, Sasha does not bark anymore. She's been mean to me the last few days. I'll talk to you about it later, Michelle, because you need to come get your
Oh,
best friend. But
Oh wow.
anyway, but she's just been yelling at me. She's deaf and she's blind and she's yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm the only person, I'm walking you, feeding you. But anyway, in terms of Better Up, at the end of the day, um, I'm glad that people, like, it's the takeaway that I got from it. And after not seeing it, is that Harry, not just Harry, but the whole thing, like the way that you're being intentional with who you are, you're being present in the moment, you're taking care of your inner self, is so incredibly important. And I recommend it to everybody every single day. I've been intentional with myself for the last 6 years, and I've been really honing in on it the last 2 years in terms of making sure that I'm intentional with my words, I'm intentional with my interactions with people, I'm intentional with my business, I'm intentional with my relationships. And what I did take away from it for Harry was, and I posted about this, that Harry is surrounded with people, and Michelle talked about this, in that when Harry was born, and in his relationships to people in his former life, they saw him as lesser because he was born second, right? So
Mhm.
a lot of the relationships that Harry had were transactional with everyone. His
Yeah.
father, his brother, his grandmother, his great grandmother, his is the only person that
His friends as well,
his
girl. Like
friends,
his
yes,
friends, yeah.
yes. The only person that he did not have a transactional relate. There are two people he did not have a transactional relationships with, was his mother and his now wife. Okay,
yep.
so everybody else, it was transactional, because in the UK, being in the class system, being the one born first, the one who is going to be the king, there's a level of relationship people want to have with you, and then there's a level of relationship people want to have with the second born, right? And it's really only to get to the firstborn, right? So any romantic relationships that he had were transactional. Any friendships that he had, they were transactional. That's why when Meghan came into his life, those relationships did not sustain. Does that make sense? Like those relationships never sustained because they were
Yep.
transactional. And
Yep.
now what we see from Harry, and the takeaway that I got from Harry, and what we see from Harry is the fact that he's now in situations with people who don't look at him just as Prince Harry, the second born, Prince
Right.
Harry of whatever. They look at him as Harry, a peer, a
Right.
leveling playing field.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Someone
that's because
who brings to the table
to the
and
table,
moves us in a
exactly.
way that we're impacted and we're helped and we feel, like we're better in
Exactly.
the end.
Exactly. And so for me, that was a takeaway that I saw was, and I posted about this. It's like
Hmm.
Harry is now surrounded with people. And let me tell you this, and I'm very clear about this. I have no toxic person in my life, none whatsoever. Okay. Yes. Online, there are toxic people that I deal with because of the job that we did with Sussex Squad Podcast. But to be honest with you, most of my interactions with people online is not toxic,
Hmm.
right? The people that I actually deal with on a positive, on a normal daily level, it's not toxic. But going back to what we take away from Betterup, just seeing who Harry is now, the
Hmm.
types of conversations that Harry's having, the types of interactions that he's having, like model that for yourself. Like really take stock of who you let into your life, be it
Yep.
brother, sister, mother, friends, coworkers, or whatever. Take stock of that and surround yourself with people who push you to be better than yourself, right? And you can do the same for. Never
That's
settle
true.
for less, never take less from anybody. And that's what I'm seeing from Harry. That was my takeaway from it, is that because Harry's been able to now get away from that fog of craziness, work on inner Harry, right? And it's a continuous work. You can't just work on it and
So
stop.
much
You have
better.
to work.
Exactly.
Yes. And you have to work on it every day, and that's why he meditates or whatever. And people, they're making fun of him, whatever. Meditation, I don't technically meditate, but you can call my 5 or 10 minutes introspective self with myself every morning as meditation, and my 5-10 minutes at night as meditation. But I'm
Hmm.
consistent with it. I am intentional with it. And seeing Harry being intentional with himself, with his relationship, and seeing how those relationships not only are helping him grow as a human being, but he's also being able to help his relationships grow with people, right? And Serena said something. She said, Harry's like my life coach.
Yep.
We spent hours and hours talking. Harry introduced me to my mental health person.
Hmm.
Okay, we would never know this about Harry if he had stayed on Struggle Island,
Right.
right? And I actually had this whole tweet formed, and I decided not to post it. It's still in draft, and I was gonna ask questions because having healthy relationships with people is important. And I wanted to
Hmm.
ask, prior to seeing Harry and Meghan in the UK, in the US now, have we seen any type of relationships with the royals, right? Like say, okay, like Serena and Harry did that thing on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can't remember what day it was. I think it was Thursday. They
There's
did that, but
her.
it was
Yeah.
Thursday, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Alexis and Meghan did something with Time Magazine. There are other things that they've done with their friends, right? Like
Right.
40x40 was with people, positive things with their friends. Have we ever seen that from the royals? Because it's important to know that. Like, okay, let me tell you this: the fact that we don't even know who these people are surrounded with, and I'm not reading comments, so please, Miss VSNC, stop me when there's a comment or somebody's asking questions. With the royals, right? We never really see their friends. We never know who their friends are because you can say so much about who people are surrounding themselves with just by like you say so much about people by who they're surrounded with. The fact that they don't even have friends who can come up and actually have the same initiatives and talk about it and be normal with them, says so much about how toxic these people are and why Harry needed to leave and how Meghan was not going to thrive in that environment. Because when you surround yourself with positive people, non-toxic people, it is very difficult to thrive in a toxic environment. And what we are seeing, and the takeaway that I got from the whole Betterup thing from Harry, was that he is no longer in a toxic situation. He is no longer in a transactional relationship with people, whether it's his family or friends or people or press, whatever, governmental official. He is in a fulfilling relationship with people, whether it's his wife, his friends, and business partners or whatever. They are fulfilling. They're not transactional.
True.
And that's important.
True. Michelle, did you
And
want to
that's what
add
I took
anything
away
else?
from that.
No, I 100% agree with Tina. In terms of what I do, if I do not, guys, I need to work out, y'all. Like I just,
I knew she was going somewhere because she chuckled. I'm like, where's
oh
Michelle
my,
going with this?
I don't know, guys. I don't do any of this. I should though. I should because
Michelle,
I'm an
I'm,
impatient person.
you know me, and
hmm
you know I can get you, whip you up in shape.
I
From
know,
a
I know
workout
you do.
standpoint,
I know you do.
yeah.
It's just
So
like I'm so lazy, y'all. When it comes to working out, I know that I have to break that first barrier. So that first workout, I know that once I'm going to do that first workout, it's going to be okay. But I
Getting
bought,
there. You
yeah,
got to
yeah.
get there. Yeah.
I don't know if I said this to, I don't know if I said, but I bought a yoga mat.
you didn't
And
tell me this.
actually have two yoga mats, 2 or 3 yoga mats I have. It's just that when they get old, I just like put them aside. So I bought a new one, and I think I bought it in September. We're in February. I still haven't used it. So it's
Michelle,
just,
you sound like me. My husband's like, do not buy anything else
so,
that
I
you know
mean,
you're not
and
going to use.
it's not. It's not like,
Mhm.
sometimes, and this is the thing. You can't force something that you don't feel like doing, right? So
yeah, yeah,
somebody like me, I actually, Michelle knows me. Like, she knows my whole history with working out and
yeah,
all kinds of stuff. And I have a full gym in my house. I don't ever need to go to a gym, right? But let me tell you, I have not worked out since probably August. I have not ran on anybody's treadmill. There's a treadmill right here in the base. Like, right, I'm looking at it through my left eye. It's right there. I have not stepped on that thing. I have not. I have not. I have not gone on the weight. We have a little squat rack. We have squat. We have everything. I have elliptical. I have a Cybex machine. Everything. But at the end of the day, I think it depends on what you see as taking care of yourself, right? So
Mhm.
for me, taking care of myself mentally is more important right now
Yeah.
than physically, right?
You've been
And
through quite a
so,
bit. So, yes, it is very
yeah,
important.
so it could be like, if taking care of yourself physically is important, Michelle, then
yeah.
you need to like put it like 10 minutes, 10 minutes, go for a walk, walk
Yeah, but
walk the cat.
it's too
Walk the
cold. I like the cat.
cat.
My little cat, my little cutie. It's
do,
too cold, guys. It's too cold
do
outside. Oh my
press
god.
ups, do press ups in the house,
What
10
is press
minutes,
ups?
like push ups. I'll send you videos.
Okay,
Or
I
like
need. Yeah,
do squats in the house, 10 minutes, just, yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna.
I have everything. I have the whole work. I have the
So,
workout gear. I have stuff. I have everything. It's just
I
that
get it. I get it
I need
completely.
to.
It's a
Yeah,
mental thing. It starts
yeah.
mentally, and
It's
then
more
we
mental
move it.
than
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Michelle,
It's
every
very
day
much.
I'm gonna text you and just say 10
woo.
minutes. And all you have, I'm just gonna say 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes, and then because that
hmm
10 minutes is gonna increase to 15, and it's gonna increase to 20 and whatever.
Yeah.
And so you have to take time for yourself, for
It's not.
yourself.
It's not the continuing aspect of working out that I have a struggle
It's
because
starting.
once it's that no, it's that first one. It's the first workout. It's
Yeah, that's
putting
yeah.
myself into the mental state of saying, okay, now I'm going to work out. That first workout. Once I finish that first workout, then it gets okay. It's just that first one.
Yeah.
I know
So
myself as that one.
so
So look for
somebody
those
asked,
text messages because she's gonna
yeah,
Tina.
I
She's
will
gonna.
text you every day. 10 minutes, Michelle, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, so somebody says, while you've been on a hiatus, there have been some new supportive channels. Do you listen? And if so, do you have a favorite one?
Your favorite
Um,
one.
so I don't. And just to let you know, like how my day runs, right? So I work a full day, 10 to 12-hour days, right? My day starts, my very first meeting is at 4:30 a.m. every day, right? And so I'm there from 4:30 a.m. to 4:30 in the afternoon, right? And then I come home, I also run businesses, right? And like I told you guys, one took off really big, and I'm starting another business. I'm starting to run another business. So I haven't had time to really actually like listen to a lot of people. I tried to like at least click on, let an ad or two run for certain people so that they can get paid. And then maybe I'll listen to the first 2 3 minutes and then I click off. But I mean, I know Miss VSNC has new channel and we've supported her. We will continue to. Y'all know I will always support like V. I will always support a Duchess Like Us. I will always support Facts and Two Cents. I will always support. There's another podcast or like channel that started as like Henry of the Eighth. She's on Twitter, and there's two people on that channel. So I've
Hmm.
retweeted it, but I've never like I've listened to maybe a few things. Like I said, I let ads run first, and
Yeah.
then I will listen to 2 or 3 minutes, and then I click off. So I can't tell you if I have a favorite or anything. All of them are my favorite. You guys know Sussex Set is my favorite podcast. Literally my favorite podcast. And I have a thing for V. Like if she wanted to marry me today, I'll divorce this man and marry her. Like that is how I feel about V, basically.
We've
Poor,
missed them,
poor,
have
poor
we
Mr.
not?
Tina. I swear to God.
Mr. Tina is fine. Like he's okay. Like I mean, he has. Can I tell you guys a story? Michelle's
Sure.
laughing. Can I get so the derangers, right? The derangers thought that they were messing with me. That they thought that, mind you, I told you guys like in 2018, Michelle and I decided how we were going to present ourselves to our audience, right? And everything. And so, I mean, we've honed this skill for 3 years now. And so we would drop little things here and there. I may or may not
Mm,
have a
mm,
dog.
mm, mm, mm.
And somebody decided that they were going to lie and name my like name thinking that they named my husband, which is like little Easter eggs that I've left for them. And so I had my husband read these comments from these people, and he's dying laughing. So our jokes now is about those comments. Like whenever I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, you mean it's not this person that is doing that? It's me." That I thought your husband is this person, and we just die laughing because the derangers are so obsessed
Mhm.
with not just Meghan and Harry, but they're obsessed with the fans that they
Yeah.
are actually listening to the podcast and thinking that they have. It's hilarious. Like Michelle's laughing, and she's like, because I couldn't stop laughing, and he can't stop laughing. But anyway, yes.
Yeah.
So we don't listen to a lot of stuff, but we try. If you tell me that, hey, Tina, I want to start a podcast and I need your support, blah blah blah. I will talk you through it. I will make sure that I promote it. I will listen to maybe first 3 or 4 episodes, but you're not gonna get me to listen every time. It's just not gonna happen. So sorry,
No, no.
Michelle.
I was trying to think about what you were saying in terms of the more channels that there is, the better.
Yeah.
People need to understand, I mean, Squaddie needs to understand that we are the thing that the British media and the royal family never expected. They
Mm-hmm.
never expected us. And that is the reason why, we have to like bring more and more people have to do this because they had a whole plane laid out for how do we going to deal with Meghan, which is
Yep.
essentially what was, listen, we're
Destroyer.
going to, yeah, but the plan that they had was we're going to let her marry in, and then we're going to render the, the environment so toxic, you know, that she has no choice but to leave. And in their mind, Harry was supposed to stay and Meghan was supposed to go. She wasn't supposed to be pregnant, but she ended up
Yep.
having Archie. So they're like, okay, we're going to push both of them away, and then we're going to keep Harry. We're going to make sure that Archie is not going to become a prince. And they had a whole plan laid out, and we destroyed that.
We
We
destroyed it.
destroyed
Yes.
that. We
Yep.
destroyed it. We are here, and we have made sure that the treatment that she has faced is known to everyone, and that is essentially, listen, it's due to all of us here. It's to
Mm-hmm.
all of us, to us. On That's why they're so upset right now. The reason why they're trying so hard on try to uncover our identities and who we are, where we live, and all that stuff, is for that. It's
Yeah.
precisely for that reason, because this craziness sometimes happens in different fandoms or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. It happens
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
Yep.
But the fact that this went so far, I mean, have you guys paid attention to what Christopher
Yep.
Boozy
We're
is
getting ready
posting?
to. There's a question for
Mm-hmm.
you, but I want
Yeah.
you to see the comment that's up right now,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
just
Go ahead.
so they you see
Uh,
that.
I don't remember how I found out, but I'm glad I did. I don't know. I don't know how you guys found out about it as well. I'm good. No, but seriously, because
In
for
the
me,
search, I mean, you figure you
for me,
see
I came
something
in.
Sussex. That was
Yeah.
what drew me in. How
Okay.
I wind up down a certain rabbit hole that I
Yeah.
don't care to discuss,
Okay.
and was supporting the wrong person.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I did finally listen to my gut instinct and just like left that
Okay.
platform altogether. But yeah, it
Yeah.
happens. We find
Yeah.
each other,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is. But here's leading into what you were saying with Christopher. Here's
Yeah.
a question for you two.
I would say that no,
Yeah.
nothing in the report surprised us. And not necessarily because we know everything, but because we expected things. We expected that from like, I mean, yes,
You've been
we
sounding the whistle or the horn or whatever for
for
years
5 years.
now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
for 5 years, and then 3 years on the pod.
Accounts,
Hmm.
and to actually see that someone else outside of Squad who finally said, "Wait a minute, what is
Exactly.
going on here?" and then has the means and has the intelligence and has the company that
Yeah.
he created, technology-wise, and is able to just dig right in
It's
there.
validate
Yeah,
validate everything that we've been saying for the
exactly. Yep.
last whatever, because and that's the most important part. And going back to something that Michelle is saying, about the Sussex Squad, and the fact that the Sussex Squad was something that they didn't expect. They
Yeah.
thought, because you have to understand that all these years they've been able to get people to do things and kind of go along with their nonsense for years, even with Diana, because they didn't have the internet to contend with. They didn't have social media to contend with, and they didn't understand how social media worked, right? So they thought that, oh yeah, all these people came with Meghan, right? But we can just keep them, and we can get them to kind of hate her.
Yeah.
But they never understood Black women, right? They never understand Black women. They're used to Black women in the UK, which
Hmm.
I now know that is vastly different from other Black people around the world.
Listen. I just saw a video of a little actress that I was super
Nope,
fan
nope,
of.
nope,
I swear
nope,
to God,
nope.
I'm
Yeah.
so
So
Yeah,
upset.
you just
yeah,
have to kind of chalk it up. You're thankful that people do take their masks down, basically. That's what it
exactly.
is.
So
Yeah,
They
yeah,
took
so
their
they
yeah,
masks
they
down.
they and when I say that, when Michelle said they understand, they underestimated, they never expected the Success Squad.
yeah,
What I'm seeing it is they underestimated Black women.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I know that there are white women in the squad or whatever, but majority of us are Black and women, or women of color, and we need to state that They don't
Right.
understand that we come at the bottom of everything in all forms of society, and we peep the game quickly, and that we know the game, right? There's never been at least in America, for me as an American Black woman, yes, my father is Nigerian, my mother is American, and I've lived in America, and I work in a corporate world, right? I run businesses. I know what it's like to be a Black woman in a room that I'm not allowed to be in, on a table that I don't have a seat in. I know
Mm-hmm.
what it's like. And so they underestimated that, and they continue to underestimate that with trying to force us to like people that we're not going to ever see it for.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Exactly.
So that's what their problem is. And that's why they keep coming after, say, myself and Michelle. Mostly, like for me, it's me, right? They keep coming after me because I'm pretty loud and I'm pretty vocal about these things. And Michelle is too. And because they just never expected. They thought that, okay, once they were successful in driving Meghan out, all these people were going to stay, because that's been how it was with Diana. Remember,
Right.
when
Hmm.
they got rid of Diana, a lot of people still stayed because her sons were there,
Right. Right.
right? And people
Mm-hmm.
wanted to support her sons, but they never estimated that, okay, when if Harry leaves, the one who is most like Diana, if he leaves, then a lot
They
of
never
these
saw
people
it.
are going to lose. They never saw it coming.
They never saw that piece of it. And when you say about Sussex Squad, a lot of people, I think in their minds, think it's like 10 people that sit around in a meeting room and come up, but it is so much bigger, and it's individuals that come together, each with our own mindset, each with our own thoughts,
Yeah.
and that's not controllable.
Do
That's
Exactly.
you
You
that's
guys,
can
that's
you
you
know,
know.
do you guys know why they didn't expect us or not?
no tell us. I want to hear.
It's because they're not accustomed to that in that country.
That's true. They're
They're
used to
not
people
accustomed to
staying in their
pushback.
places. Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
They're not accustomed to that pushback. So they never expected us for that reason. That's why.
And it coming from the outside, we were like, wait a minute, what is, they thought it was just a few people, and then they realized, I guess now they realize, hopefully
Yeah?
they realize that it is so much bigger, and it's a lot of people standing outside of that country saying, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
This is a hot mess. Y'all stay over there, but we're not buying your bullshit, and we're coming back over
Yeah.
here. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
And and that's one thing they just never, they refuse to. And that's why they keep trying to push these people on us. Like, I was watching the Access Hollywood thing yesterday, and they were talking about Harry stuff or whatever. And next thing you know, they talked about Harry for like a minute 20, and then they started talking about the others for like the rest of it. And I clicked off. The moment I saw those two, I just clicked off. Because they keep trying to push. That's why if you
Yeah, well, they
go,
do that, and you know that.
yeah, and
You know
also
how they
because
do. They use their names to draw us in. So I'm a little bit skeptical a lot of times on stuff. I'm like,
Mm.
do I read this? Because I already know it's in the headline, but you have to scan it and say, oh, okay, they are really truly talking about them. It's not, I'm
yeah, and like you
clickbaiting
go
you.
to magazines, like People Magazine is part of
Hmm.
their PR.
Yeah,
Us
there
Weekly
now.
is part of their,
Hmm.
like their PR.
Newsweek.
So, but
Yeah.
news, yeah. At the end of the day, they still don't know why Harry and Meghan are popular. They like to tell us they're not popular in the UK, but then it's a lie, because
Yeah, they're
I have
irrelevant and they're
stats.
this and they're that.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. But I have stats here that said that after Harry's thing, let me read it. After Harry's mental health thing that he did with Betterup, the searches for mental health support skyrocketed
Hmm.
132% worldwide after
Yep.
appearance alongside Serena Williams at Betterup virtual conference. The new finding by Beard Kingdom revealed that online searches for Get Therapy and mental health support skyrocketed at 109% and 132% respectively, just hours on the 4th of February. An unprecedented spike in people Googling for assistance in their mental health well-being, according to analysis of Google data. Let me tell
Yep.
you something.
Yep.
That never happens with the left behinds. That
That's their
never
new nickname,
happens with
everybody, the
the
Left Behinds.
others. Okay? That never happens with them. That never ever happens. So no matter how much they try to tell you that Harry and Meghan are not popular,
Mm-hmm.
they are popular.
Yeah,
They
they
make
are.
news. They are the news. This is why these people are afraid for Harry and Meghan to do anything while they're doing something, because they know that Harry and Meghan
It's going to be
makes news.
impacting. Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Before I move on to the next question, because there's quite a few, and thank you to the members who, y'all are really active in here. So I want to say thank you to Dara for the super sticker. Thank you very much. And I did see another one. Just let me try to find it. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Because I did see it. Oh, Shamara Davenport, thank you very much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Okay. Now, if I could find my place, because y'all know how this works with StreamYard. Oh, wow. And thank you, Thrive and Megan and Harry for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Wow. I just saw that one. See, I get surprised when I see. All right. Y'all are like, really? Yes, really. That's how it is. Let me see if I can scan it quickly to find any other question. Well, I know there's a lot of questions. The chat is really busy. I'm not sure if you all can see it, but I don't want to miss any questions that are put out here. We'll get to the crazy stuff because I see a lot of funny, crazy comments. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
no, 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 because we'll go down the rabbit hole and never come back.
Not now, not
um,
now.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
yet.
yeah. Not now. Let me see. Yes, Harry, surrounded by positive people. And see, people get on me because they're like, you get so far behind in the comments, just how I kind of do my Saturday, the Sussex Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to keep up with and make sure. And hello to everybody that has joined. Hello, hello, hello. Um, if I've missed a comment, I just hope that the members will at least repost it because I'm
Yeah.
just seeing general comments, not
Yeah.
anything in particular that they're asking. And I'm just scanning it quickly, but oh, and thank you. Yes, I want to just put that up. That's true, Church Nelly. That we do rock. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. If you see pro royal channels popping up in your thread, that's because they're setting up their SEOs to kind of
Yeah, they
match into
usually have
with
Meghan.
Harry
So
and Meghan. Yeah. Yep.
Who?
So, like all the other pro royal channels,
Ah,
the
I.
others,
They're trying to
they'll
put
show up
Megan.
in your time. They'll show up in your timeline. So they're
yeah, they
tying their
tag Meghan.
SEO to yeah. Because if you Google Megan's name,
Mm-hmm.
um, cosplay comes up. There's articles on cosplay.
Oh,
Space's wife. So
okay.
I knew immediately, oh, they're tying their SEO to, yeah. Um, let me see. They couldn't understand the
Look
magnitude of the
how desperate they
squad.
are.
Yeah. But that's true, Diane. We're vast and we're global. That's the part they didn't account for. Like
Hmm.
they are doing 1950s PR. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
but we're in 2022. Not gonna
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Exactly.
The thing for them is that it's also it's fabricated as well. The hate. That's why
Yeah,
it's tough for them to control the squad because it's organic, whereas the haters is completely fabricated. That's the thing, and also this is the reason why the attention on them is completely fabricated. They have, again, as you said, they have to tie Megan's articles to that idiot. They
right.
have to do it because otherwise nobody cares.
Nobody
So
would
this is,
see it.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
but
this is what they
again,
have
let
to
people
do.
search for her name. Let them search for the other Duchess if that's what they're looking for. Obviously, they're
Yeah.
not, and they're looking for Meghan. So,
Yeah.
you
So that's what
know,
they have to do. So and even listen, even if you do that, even if you try to tie your name to Meghan's name, um, people won't care anyway. Like if they
hmm
weren't clicking, if they weren't typing your name, they're not going to click on an article with your name on it as well. Like seriously,
that's
And
true.
it just says,
Say that again, Tina.
Tina.
hold on, Lydia says,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
I was just reading. Tina mentioned previously that she did an interview with Crystal Boozy along with Professor. Yeah, the interview is available. It's been out for
Oh,
over
a
2
while
months
ago,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, the interview is out there.
It's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All
somewhere.
right,
It's
Lydia,
out
you
there.
probably have to. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. I haven't gone on our YouTube channels in a while, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I would be able to, um, if you send it to me in the DM in Twitter, I'll post it into the members only chat that we have. So, on the community tab. So,
Blah 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 blah. I'm just looking for our uploads because
uh,
we did a panel on the coordinated hate campaign. It was 2 months ago. Yeah, so we did it 2 months
yeah.
ago,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, it was 2 months ago. So
I guess a couple of people missed it, but I mean, mind you, for those
Yeah.
who have never sat on one of their sat in on their podcasts,
it's
Man, that
long.
day
you
It
missed
is.
no,
yeah.
no, it was an experience, and it was like Sunday service. So Church Nellie has her name for a reason, because it wasn't just an hour and then you're on and off. No, we're
It is
talking like
available.
3, 4, or more
Oh yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miss
Yeah,
we had
VS,
some good
yeah.
time.
It's long
Miss,
podcast.
it's
I
a
never
long
I never
podcast.
I never realized that it's like, listen, I'm Muslim, so I don't go to church, so I don't know
Mhm.
that, but I've heard that African American, service is super long. It's like hours and hours and hours. So yeah. So
Yes,
yeah,
they
it's
can
similar.
be. At least like I was born and raised Baptist. I did go to another non-denominational for a period of time. That
Mhm.
non-denominational was like 1 hour to the mark, you were out the door.
Okay.
The Baptist was
Yeah.
around 2.5 hours, and that's probably when if you throw in the worship service before,
Oh,
that's another 3. Yeah, so just saying, yeah, it could be
Yeah.
long.
so can you,
It could be long.
Miss VS and
Uh-huh.
see, I just posted the link in the private chat, so you can
Okay.
probably post it to the,
Okay.
like, they can
Yeah,
click.
I'll bring
Yeah.
it in. Okay.
Yeah, it's available. It's available to everybody.
Yay. And then everybody, now that you asked for it, don't act like just ignore it now that it's going to be posted. So there's no excuses. Haha. um,
Church
I'm
Nelly, I'm
gonna,
sorry. You do listen to our podcasts in church, and that's why your
and
name
that's
is
why you
Church
got that
Nelly.
name. Yes. Don't play. We know better than that. I think the first time she said, "Oh, I'm laughing," and then she was like, "I'm in church." We were like, "What?
Yeah,
You're in
like, listen
church?
to the pastor.
And you're listening to the podcast?"
And I
Love
was
her.
cursing and stuff. Oh my god.
And she's laughing.
And
Mind you, I hope not during a prayer but Church Nelly, we know better. See, it wasn't just my memory. And I
I
know
have to
that could
say,
go in and out. Okay, so I just posted the link. So thank you, Nutty Doctor. Thank you for the super sticker.
hi, Nutty Doctor.
Um,
How you doing?
let me see. Is this? Oh, that's her just protesting. Church Nelly. That's okay. It's okay. All right, here we go. So Lydia's asking, what about a seminar with Pamela on finances?
Oh, yeah. So that needs to happen, but I just need to find time. So we haven't done it, and yes. that needs to happen. I need to get the people together and do it.
Y'all, it takes a lot. So I'm just going to say, now that I'm on this side of it, I understand when Tina would be like, there's not enough hours in a day. And there is a lot to the so-called production side, getting the information, getting in contact with people. So I had
Yeah.
wanted this to happen in like January just to kick off the new year. But because of schedules, as Tina's told you, she's traveling a lot. Michelle was in the midst of all of her school, and I really wanted her to have that attention to her schoolwork because I know how that is. And so here we are at the beginning of February, but yeah, it can take a bit with trying to coordinate schedules and even the time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. But it's
Yeah.
fine, honestly. For me, it's actually okay because it's around the same time that we do the podcast, right?
Right,
Like it's
right.
5 p.m. for me now, but normally we
Mhm.
do at 4 p.m. So yeah, it's okay.
What? But
Michelle had a
we do
little
our.
bit of a Michelle had a little bit of a heart stoppage when she I had
Oh
sent a
my God.
message in Twitter
Yeah.
and she's like, "Wait a minute, I thought it was this time. Is it not this time? Did it stop?
I
Did you have
freaked
it?"
out
And I'm like,
because
"No,
I
it's
was like,
fine."
okay, I reached out, I was like, is it in an hour? And then you're like, oh, it's already over. And I was like, what? I freaked out because I
And
was
I'm
like,
talking about other stuff and I'm like, "Okay, it's fine. We haven't started." I was like,
oh
"Oh
my
my
God.
goodness."
Yeah.
Okay.
Walmart is big.
Uh, yeah, it's a little bit too big. And God bless
How
you for
big
the
is a
job that you do,
Walmart? Is
especially
it
in the
huge?
It depends. It depends on
it
what Walmart you go
depends.
to.
Okay.
Yeah. A super Walmart is bigger than a regular Walmart. And I don't know if they have
And
regular Walmarts anymore or if they're all super
And what do
Walmarts.
they
So
sell there?
super
Is it like just food?
groceries, clothes,
everything.
you name it, they have it pretty
Okay.
much. So
Okay.
yeah. And they actually have in some of them, like McDonald's with inside, they have eye doctors.
What do you mean eye doctors? Doctors for the eyes?
Yeah, you can
Yes,
go
they
get
have
your eye
everything there.
your eye exam and yeah,
In
get
a
your
So
fucking
glasses.
in a supermarket?
Well, really, Walmart started with like clothing and stuff like that, household products and
they
all.
sell
But
guns there too.
right, the super
Yeah.
So,
Walmarts evolved and they sell a lot more.
so
So
I bought some of my guns from Walmart.
Tina, I swear to God, I don't want to hear that. Oh my God.
thank God for the
I'm a
Second Amendment. That's all I'll
yes,
say.
I that's what I'm gonna say. Like last week I was supposed to go shooting. I couldn't go because it snowed. And so tomorrow I'm going to the range. I need to just kind of get out
I
some
have to get back
bullets.
into the going to the range.
Yeah,
So
Michelle is like
that's
freaking out
gotten
right
away
now. We
from.
both talking about
It's
guns. Let's stop.
okay. It's okay. It's
Listen, guys,
okay.
the only shooting I do is on video games. That's it. By video games, I do that. I was killing zombies the other day.
Okay,
Yes, I
so when
did.
you go to the range, you look at the target. You would as if you're playing that game
Zombies.
in the sense, except
No,
you're
Yeah.
because
really
no, no, no,
shooting a bullet
no,
or
because you're
something.
holding, guys. I'm holding a controller when I'm playing. Okay, I'm not holding
Yeah,
a gun.
I just pretend that like my G35 is a
Right.
controller.
You have to have and you have the respect and you're not playing around and
Yeah.
it's a
So
I
lot
have
in
to
the
say
range.
that.
You're not playing around. You're really not.
Yeah, I
It's,
have to say that being like somebody who is an avid Second Amendment person and also a gun owner, I have to say that there's a level of restraint and respect that you have to have for what it is that you're
yes.
doing
yeah,
and for people, for human beings, and making sure that you don't hurt people, but you also
Nor
you respect
yourself.
that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you just
So
respect people. But
exactly.
she's
Exactly.
like, I am sick and tired of you, Tina.
Uh, listen, it's to
you,
each his or her own, and I understand,
yeah,
especially since you're not here
yeah,
and
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
kind of
It's a
absorbing
culture
that.
issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
purely
mean, when I
cultural.
grew up,
Yeah.
it wasn't that the guns were talked about. Mind you, it
Hmm.
wasn't until my grandmother passed that we found like 5 rifles. I was like, where did this woman hide these things all these years? it wasn't. I knew of one behind her door when we lived in New Jersey, but that was so many years ago. But yeah, so she has
Look at
some.
Sarah posting that she misses her M50, M60. I'm guessing that's guns.
Yes, yeah. But
Oh
Yes.
my god.
that's what you usually, that's like a military issue. So that's like a like it's a long gun. So that's more of a long
Like a
gun, like a long machine gun.
You have your short
Um,
range, medium range, long range.
silent
yeah.
and
So,
deadly. Mine
you
looks
need to
like
have
cool.
that for overall protection. I'm just saying, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
have
No,
you
no,
seen
I
Medea?
and
Medea has her guns.
who?
Medea
Oh my
in the
God, I
movie.
can't.
Yeah.
She's like, who?
She's a pistol packing
Walmart.
granny.
Yeah, she is. That
Look,
will cut
someone
Yes,
everything in half if it comes down to that. So,
yeah.
is there
So
another
Walmart
question?
also
Did I
has.
miss a question? Let me see.
look, she's Diane said
Oh
that
yeah, they
Walmart
do have
has
repair. They
auto
do. They have
repairs,
auto.
tires,
Hair salon.
hairstylists,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
salons,
Subway. So it
Subway.
depends. Some have McDonald's, some have Subways, some, you
mm-hmm.
can
Man, it must be huge then.
Just,
oh, they're
have you ever been
massive.
to Harold? Have you ever been to Harold's in London?
No,
It's
no.
it's literally low budget Harold's. Because Harold's you can buy anything in Harold's. You can buy a house in Harold's. You can buy a BMW in Harold's. But
Okay.
it's just that low budget
She's not
Harold.
impressed. She's like, okay.
No, no, but
Yeah.
no, it's no, it's we don't have this here, so that's
Like
why.
when, yeah, so when mind you, there's the good and the pros and the cons with any business, but
Mm,
they with them coming in when the Walmart comes in, it does affect the local small mom and
yeah,
pop
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
shops.
because
But
you get everything into one spot. So
yeah,
yeah, that's
a
Yeah.
little
it's good,
cheaper.
but
Not saying
yeah,
that the quality is better, but
okay.
yeah, so it has its pros and its cons, but when they come in, they're like taking like hundreds of thousands of acres, just depending on if it's a
Mm,
distribution center versus a Walmart. There are stores or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
All right.
but
Does
all right.
anyone
Are
have
there
any
any
questions?
other
Yeah,
questions?
we're just like derailing everything. When you buy ammunition, they ask for. Yeah.
No, but that's what I wanted to. I wanted to have. Oh, I do want to touch on while I'm looking for some questions to come in. I am gonna jump over because they know how I do. I'm gonna just put this up because it is trash time. In a sense, I do have one little tidbit that I want to share um, for the trash time, and let me see. I saw this on Twitter and I bust out laughing when I saw this, but this is basically how it is with the media over there in that
Oh
country.
yeah, Boom posted that. Yeah, that was Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. This is golden and this really explains it all. That, they're riding along, they have their stick in their hand, and then, here they come and they just start writing all of this stuff and they stick the stick in their wheel. So what's going to happen? They're going to fall over. But it's a matter of, well, they're irrelevant and they're this and they're that and they wanted privacy. And that whole privacy argument always takes me out. But I understand where, yeah, we all understand where that whole nonsense comes from. But yeah, this was my little tidbit on trash time in that you understand what the media forming minds over there. Some people buy it and most people are not, I hope, buying it anymore. Let me throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right.
um,
So we're talking about trash. What's this trash thing we're talking about? What is this? Talk to me. I
oh, did
like
you see
messiness.
it? Did you see it?
Oh God. Oh God. Why you hurt my
I want you
eyes?
to
All right.
see it. This is my
When?
trash time.
Michelle, we should do this stuff like this on our podcast. We should have segments of trash times. I
It's
don't
a
know.
way to
We just
kind
get
of,
We
well,
just
yeah.
we have a little trash talk in the middle of the serious talk. That's what we do. We
yeah,
don't.
yeah. So like
We're serious and then we're
so
trash,
guys,
and then we're serious again, and then we're trash again.
Yeah, so like it's so funny because like the derangers right now are listening to hours and hours of our podcast and they're transcribing it for us. Thank you for those of you
Thank
who are
you.
doing that. So they're like really transcribing it for us. So while we get paid, they transcribe, all that stuff.
Mm,
And
mm,
so
mm,
like
mm.
like I'm like, how do they even sit through that nonsense? Like I could never sit through one of our podcasts. I mean, I
And
couldn't.
it's your podcast and you're saying
It's
this.
my
That's so
podcast.
funny.
Yeah, like it's literally my podcast. It's my voice, like you're hearing. And I can't sit through it mainly because I don't like the sound of my voice. And also, it's like we on purpose talk like a
You
certain
say and
way.
do. Exactly.
Exactly. Like in certain way. And then like we trash and then we then talk a certain way, then we trash. And these people like I'm like, do you not get dizzy? Because I do. You know, it's funny. But anyway,
It's
go ahead.
funny. It really is funny. But all right, let me see if there's any other questions. I don't want to hold you too. Oh, I see one. Oh Lord, Diane. Since it is trash
Oh,
time, here's a question because it's trash time. I'm just gonna say, do you mean crazed up sister? What is this Boomba cheerleader Duchess extra with the rugby
what
team?
happened?
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
what this is about.
okay, let me just catch you up. I saw it on Twitter and I didn't even read everything. I just saw that the rugby team, which was Harry's patronage, is now under cosplay. So that's where all of this is
Oh,
coming up under the
oh.
like
I
trash
mean,
time
to be honest with
type
you, I
thing.
don't know why people. I don't know why the squad cares about this. Let me just be honest, and this is Tina being honest. Tina, like no filter or whatever. Why do you guys care about this? Harry left. Meghan left. Let them have the things that they want to take from Harry and Meghan. They're never going to be Harry and Meghan. They're
Right.
never going to do it like Harry and Meghan. She if she I if she has I didn't even know if she has rugby, fine, let her have rugby. And let me be very clear about this. When your husband doesn't pay you attention and you have
Uh-oh.
to seek it outside,
Uh-oh.
look, you know, we see how she does with the tennis players and the roars. We understand why that is happening. Let
Mm-hmm.
her, okay?
Let her
And
find
the
her
same thing.
joy however she can find her
Exactly,
joy.
exactly. Like
And if
why
that's
I
taking
don't even
leftovers, then it's taking leftovers.
exactly, and that's fine. I mean, you
Right.
know, I didn't even know this was happening. The only one that I did know was the professional side chick, um Camilla, who cheated, who was sleeping with Charles while he was married with Diana, and
Mm-hmm.
caused. And I will stand by this on every corner, everywhere, that she is the reason that Princess Diana is not alive. It is because of Charles and Camilla. And I will always stand with that.
Yes.
Because if
Yeah.
Charles was not cheating on Diana with Camilla, most likely Charles and Diana would have been together and like he would have focused on his
This
relationship
would have been a whole
and
nother it
exactly,
would
and
be a
she
whole
wouldn't have
nother life.
lost
Yeah.
security, blah blah blah.
Right.
Diana was 18 years old when Charles started courting her. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
these people were 31, 32. They
Yeah.
were mentally and emotionally abusing Princess Diana,
And she
both of
had
them.
no one. And she had
She
no
had
one.
no one, because again it goes back to that culture that we
Mm-hmm.
talked about earlier, the transactional culture, right? So
True.
everyone catered to Charles because he is going to be the one who is king. So
Mm-hmm.
Diana's feelings and people who she interacted with, it was mostly transactional.
Right.
There were
Just to
some
prop him
relationships
up.
that were yeah, there were some relationships that were pure and good for Diana, which her relationship with that I think Pakistani doctor was
Mm-hmm.
pure, and like he till today he's never spoken about Diana.
And
Okay,
those that's what I was gonna say. It's the ones that we don't hear about or that we've heard about. Even Megan mentioned how a good friend of Diana's helped
helped
her,
her. Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So we don't the ones that we don't hear about are the ones that are truly the friends and
Hmm.
family members.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And
the
so
ones that have sold
again,
her out, yeah, whatever.
yeah, so going back to the professional side whore, um, Camilla, like she was cheating and sleeping
Hmm.
around with Charles throughout his relationship with Diana. Okay. And every time we hear something like, oh, Harry's book is going to come out and it's going to be about Camilla
Hmm.
and blah, blah, blah. There's a reason for that. They're trying to soften the blow because Camilla was up to no good, not only with
Yeah.
Diana, but with Harry and Meghan. And I there's no one who can ever convince me that the person who told Meghan to be 50% of herself was not Camilla.
Mm.
There's no
Because she
one
would
who can ever
understand.
the only person who can convince me that it's not Camilla is Meghan. And Meghan doesn't talk to me. I don't know the girl. She doesn't know me. We will never talk
Right.
because I don't need to.
Hmm.
But I say all that to say that they're talking about National Theater, whatever, that Camilla, that's the only one that I knew that was happening. And I'm like, make this make sense. You're a professional whore.
Right.
You're a professional side chick, right? You killed the man's mother. You guys tried to kill his wife, and then you're mad because the queen gave her a patronage that you wanted.
Right.
In all of these years since 2005 that you've been married, the woman, the old bitty bitty woman who does nothing, the symbol of white supremacy, did not give you the National Theater. She gave it to the one who went to school for theater, got a
Right.
degree in theater, is an actress, and
Hmm.
you're mad about that.
Right.
And then you become the patron of this, and then the story is not about all the good you're going to do for this organization. It is all the ways you hate this black woman.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
However they
so
can turn it to be against
exactly,
them.
and this is why they don't get it. They will never
Hmm.
get it, because if they actually, for those of you listening, and I know that the Rangers are listening to this, tell your
Yeah,
friends in
there's
the
a lot
media,
of
because
them
I know you
listening.
guys are, and I know you guys are talking to them. The moment they start mentioning Meghan Markle, they lost the plot,
Hmm.
because they could have said, hey, she took it over, it was Meghan's charity, blah, blah, blah. They didn't have to go on and on about how Camilla really wanted it and she was so mad that Meghan got it. Because then it's like, oh, it makes sense now who said what.
Hmm.
It makes sense
Hmm.
now what role Camilla played in the abuse that Meghan had. It makes
Right.
sense now that this chronic abuser, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla Parker Bowles, is, because
Hmm.
she's been a chronic abuser of women. She slept with a 19-year-old husband for
And went to her
16
wedding,
years.
like, basically, like, I'm
Yeah,
rubbing your nose in it because 'cause I'm at your wedding,
exactly.
I'm at your
Yeah, so
reception, I'm in your
yeah,
life.
exactly.
Because
So
who
she's
does
been a
that?
chronic abuser, and nothing. You can't put lipstick on a pig and tell us that it's a young, vibrant lady. It's never gonna happen. Camilla
Exactly.
will always be a side chick, a side whore for the
Mhm.
rest of her
Of her
miserable life.
days.
She will
Yeah.
continue to be miserable, and the fact that they're telling us, you could have just said, "Hey, she took it over from Meghan. This is what she's going to do with the organization." Blah blah blah, and leave it at that. But no,
Right.
these
And
people
it's
go
really Harry. I
OTT.
mean, haven't you done enough to him? Like, to try to humiliate Harry at this point in time, is what
I mean, but it's not
absolutely
even
drives
trying.
me
It's
bonkers. Well,
it's
they're
I
trying. I
it's
give
not
them
even
that. They
trying.
try.
It's funny.
It
It's
is.
literally
It
funny.
is. When you take a step back and you really are like, okay, who cares who the patron is now? Because we know who they wanted. Because when he was leaving or you took it away, they came out and said that they wanted to keep him. Moving right along. Like,
Exactly. And the National Theater also said that they wanted to keep Meghan.
right.
So at the end of the day, you took Meghan's scraps, and instead of saying, this is what I'm going to do with it,
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to do with this, blah, blah, blah,
Party
you
favors.
guys decided for the British press who listen to this podcast, or they're listening, whatever, you guys decided that you were going to bash a Black woman
Right.
in the process. That does not make Camilla look good. And I
No.
think that they don't understand this. They think this flies in the UK. There's a reason we all don't like Tandy Newton right now. Okay? That shit flies in the UK, but for the rest of the normal world,
Right.
outside of the small island, it does not fly.
Right.
And yes, you guys care about just the UK, but guess what? When Harry does a Betterup engagement, we see the numbers over 132% increase
Right.
in searches for mental health support. That is the type of impact that you want your future king, your future king, your future
Right.
queen, your future queen to have. They don't have it.
Exactly.
They don't
And I
have it.
need to say, haha to those who, you know, most of the media over there is probably making up a lot of that search too and not realizing you're helping to show because you listen. I tried to get into one of those segments and it told me it was full. I got pissed
Mhm.
off because I said, oh, all of these people over there in the UK that claim they hate them so much is taking up all the space. Don't
Yeah.
play like they weren't listening because they were in those segments more than
Exactly.
Sussex
So
Squad was.
this is why, going back to something that Michelle and I said earlier, our job here is done. Here's why. These people are so, like, they have to find out things when we find out,
Hmm.
right? And
That's
I
so
want Michelle to
awesome.
talk because Michelle hasn't talked in a while, but they have to find shit out when we find out. They are on the losing end. This is why
Hmm.
the Telegraph have to do, I think they did 5 articles on Harry's, I don't know, 30-minute
Harry's hair.
appearance, and all of that stuff. Like, Harry and Meghan own you. And
Right.
the next day, Jeremy Vine, I saw that from Joe,
I
right?
saw something. Yeah, I
They
saw
have
something about
15
him.
minutes talking about Harry. And then I asked somebody, I said, so was Harry the only person who was out yesterday? Like, no. Their queen was out. Their future queen was out. Their future queen was out. The future king was out. The future king was out. And they did not talk about it.
Talked
The
about, right. And
only
they talked, I
person
saw
that they
that
spent
tweet. Yep.
15 minutes talking about on Jeremy
Yep.
Vine and other channels, and all, like, Telegraph dedicated 5 articles. Daily Fail dedicated however 15 million articles that they do, and everyone is pontificating. Yes, it's negative,
Hmm.
but at the
Hmm.
end of the day, what matters is that the only person that they're talking about are the people who said, right, I'm done, and
Right.
left.
And we're not
They're not
discussing,
even
we're not having any contact with you all, that UK media. We're not doing this
exactly.
and we're not doing that. So yeah. Um,
Exactly. So
yep.
they actually are. That's why Michelle and I, like, our job here is done, because at this point, what they do actually help Harry and Meghan.
Hmm. It's like free PR, basically. I mean,
Exactly. And
you
we
know,
don't need to, always call this out. Hey, there are channels out there who, I mean, there's still stuff that's going on, but I think we've
hmm,
moved beyond that. Like, the moment Harry and
right.
Meghan moved to LA, and they're in Montecito, they're doing good. Every time we see Harry, he looks refreshed. He looks good. He looks
He
thriving.
looks so
He,
different
he
each
looks
time.
moisturized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 He's looking like a snack.
Did you say
He,
moisturize?
Yes, he's looking like moisturized, like he's
Oh
having
my
a shea
gosh.
butter on him. He's got, keep advocating for the Jamaican castle oil. He looks like he's rubbing it in.
Oh
It
yeah.
looks good.
Leave
Is
Harry's hair alone, y'all. Leave Harry's hair
well,
alone.
I
But
don't.
I will
Yeah, that's why.
say
Yeah,
that that
I
picture
don't
I
mess with
saw of
Harry
the
too.
bald, the image of how he would look if he was bald,
No, Harry looks good. I
woo,
don't know why
made me
people are
say,
talking
"Oh
about his hair.
damn." Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Leave Harry.
The
Leave.
reason
Leave.
why we drag Baldy is because he is truly is ugly. Like he
yeah,
has he has an ugly face. Okay,
That's
it's
true.
not the baldness. It's he has an ugly face that matches his ugly soul. That's it.
Yeah. And so
Um,
Harry and Meghan, they're happy. They're in Montecito and they're doing fine. Now,
Church
if
Nelly,
they're
no,
married,
we will not listen to this. I'm sorry, Tina, I didn't mean to cut you off. We're not going to listen to anything they have to say on mental health. I'm just going to say that. I'm answering for
yeah,
everybody on the panel. Moving along. Yeah,
yeah.
because that's
So,
really going to get fire started.
at the end of the day, like the trash, I don't know, the segment that it is, like all of that
Crash
stuff is
time.
trash. Trash time.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff is trash. The fact that, yes, I mean, um, I don't know, Torso got rugby. Good for her. Good for her. You know, she gets more attention from
Oh
people
my
because
God.
good for her. And then, the professional side whore, Camilla Parker Bowles, Duchess of
Whatever
what
you want
they
to give
call,
her. Yeah.
yeah, whatever her thing is,
There you go. Mm-hmm.
she got a National Theater. Good, clap for you. Our faves is still not coming back. I'm done.
Exactly. Exactly. Michelle, did you want to add any little tidbits?
Uh, I wanted to say something earlier, but I forgot what it is now.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. I'm sure it would
Well,
have been good. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
I forgot what. Wait, what were you talking about 10 minutes ago?
The report, Christopher's report.
No, no, it was something after that. No, I really
What,
no, I
Walmart
forgot.
guns?
No, we're not talking about that.
Um, yeah,
No,
I
we're
don't
not
know.
talking about
Then we, of course, yeah, we've been
no.
talking about the crazy crazes, but
No, no. I'm just going to say I'm glad that that I know I want to talk about what's her name, the professional side chick, as Tina says.
okay, everybody,
No, I'm not.
get ready.
Listen. I'm just glad. No, I'm gonna be very nice. I'm glad that that organization is having her. Like, this is what they deserve. You deserve that. You deserve her.
Mm.
You deserve an airhead to help you for rugby. Like, you need a side chick to help you for your, for your
They,
theater, whatever the
do
fuck they're
you
doing
really
there.
think they're going to help? They're not going to get any help.
Yeah, but I'm glad. I'm glad that they're not gonna get help.
Yeah,
This is what they deserve. This is what you wanted. Have at it.
that's
No,
true.
seriously.
That's
I
true.
know. They this is what you want, so
If
go ahead
they,
and have it.
yeah, that's true. It
Yeah.
would be a
And
lot
also,
different if Harry and Meghan were
yeah.
still there, but they're
No, no,
not.
no, no.
And
Listen, listen. I will be the last person to ever advocate for them to stay there. I'm glad that Harry and Meghan left. I'm glad.
oh,
Listen,
we celebrated
I'm
that day.
glad that these people show their ass. I'm so glad that Harry and Meghan decided to leave so early. Archie was only
Hmm.
6 months when they left. I'm
Yeah.
glad that it happened so fast. I'm glad that these people were, dumb enough to push them away so early on instead of
Well,
waiting for like a couple of years to push them away. It was the right
now that
thing to
we,
do.
yeah, exactly. But now that we know about the security issues, yes, I'm glad too.
Yeah.
Um, because it could be
Somebody's
a
asking.
whole nother issue here right now.
Somebody, somebody's asking Tina and Michelle, what did you think about the beautiful picture of Sussex picture? We talked about it on our. Did we talk about
Oh,
it? No, we
social
never
media.
did.
Which one?
Oh,
Oh,
The
the
Christmas one?
holiday party, the
no, the
holiday
Christmas
party.
one.
The
Yeah,
Christmas
No, no,
picture?
no, holiday party.
yeah. Okay, from their Christmas party. I mean, Christmas card. I mean, geez, I'll get
Yeah,
it
yeah,
together. Whew,
yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we loved it. We posted about it, but we never talked. Yeah, we loved it.
we didn't do a
We loved it.
no,
I
we don't do.
don't think they did a
No, we haven't
podcast.
done a podcast since December
Yeah,
12th,
yeah, and the
Yeah.
card came out right before
20,
Man,
Christmas.
23rd,
oh,
Yeah.
I
December
think what
23rd.
we've done is probably spaces. I conflate everything right now, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
and also we posted it on our community pages. But yeah, we loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archie's a little ginger. He's so cute.
He's an adorable little boy. His
And
sisters is
Somebody
to
else
die
also asked
for.
a
And
good
I'll put it
question.
up since it was asked about. I'll just show it. just to give
Yeah.
us some good feels, since we can end on a more note, you know.
We're positive.
So
Woo! Well,
Diane said that the Betterup company has quadrupled in value since. Yes, yes, yes,
mhm,
and
Yes.
that's what is important, right? Harry being the
mhm,
chief impact officer, the fact that, let me tell you, Harry is making his pay. First of all these people talking shit about Harry. Harry is here working hard, is a tax paying member of the United States of America. Okay, so he's contributing to our society. He's an employer. Okay, and the job that he was hired for in Betterup, which is chief impact officer, people Googled mental health support. It
yep.
increased by 132%.
Even
Better up.
even looking up for within their own company, employer
Mhm,
provided mental health.
exactly, exactly.
So
And
yeah,
so at the end of the day, Harry is worth his gold in money, and he is doing what he needs to do. He is doing what every American would be doing.
yep.
I'm proud of him as an American.
Oh, I'm
He is
thrilled.
a
Mhm.
contributing member of society. He is paying us taxes. He is employing people. Please,
Creating companies,
yeah,
this
creating jobs.
their foundation, you know, come on, Archwell, all of that. Yes, good
Yeah,
impact, no matter where they go, impact.
yeah,
He had impact even with the shackles of that
Hmm.
fucking institution. He still had impact. Now
He
that he
did.
has no shackles anymore, like now that he can do and work with whoever and whenever he wants, like of course he's thriving. Of course
Hmm.
he is. There is no, he doesn't have to go through hey, you can't do this engagement today because such and such also has an engagement and we have
Right,
to figure out and da, da, da. He doesn't have to go through that anymore. He
right.
can do whatever he wants whenever he
When he
wants. He doesn't,
wants,
yeah,
exactly,
with whoever he wants as
exactly.
well.
Yep,
That is also
exactly.
what's
yep,
the
yep.
best, the best,
That's the
this is the best
best.
part. And that is
Yeah.
the reason why they're so upset right now. It's Tina was saying earlier that these people are on the outside, and
Hmm.
they're trying to, it's the fact for me that they're actually trying to insert themselves in that conversation. You're not
Yeah,
part of it. Like nobody's
Right.
checking you out. They were
Exactly.
like, he should leave us alone. Bitch, who asked you to register and watch the
Right.
panel? Like who asked you? Nobody asked you to. Like
Exactly.
that is, they keep inserting themselves and they don't even realize how crazy they look
Crazy
in
they
the world.
sound.
Yeah. Like he's not talking to you. Like who, like the fact that these people think that every time that he speaks up, he's speaking up at them. Like, no, he's not talking to you. He lives in the
he
US.
lives in the
It's US.
USA.
Yeah.
Right.
He lives in the
Right.
US. He's working with Americans. He's working with his American company. That's it. He's not
Right.
talking to you. Focus on sperm donor tampon and whatever the fuck, focus on these assholes.
They don't. This is the thing. Okay, so in October 2016, when he released that statement, they didn't listen to him. When they released their joint statement, just saying, we're out of here, deuces. And
Yeah.
we're not going to be dealing with you as the UK media, the Rhoda. We're not dealing with you. They didn't listen. They don't listen. It's like they have, earplugs in or a buildup of wax in their ears. They don't listen to anything he has to say. But he is showing them, I'm not the dumb prince that you always said I was.
That they tried, that they were selling. It's
That
not even that they
narrative,
sold.
yeah.
And this is what they were told to sell. Hey, this one. And now you have the moron, the bold moron who is like talking about Africans shouldn't make kids or whatever, whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
stuff like that, and then, they're trying to shit on him. It's like, listen, people are
Let
not
them keep
even
talking.
reacting negatively about what
Mhm.
Harry is saying and Harry is doing. But the way that people dragged that asshole prick, the way that people dragged him,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Oh
that,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
like he was dragged
And he
from hell
deserved
and
it.
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
because
did
I
hundred
dragged him on
percent,
my show. He deserved it.
100%,
a
100%.
thousand times over, because it's like, of all the people in the world, sir, I mean, I'm sure if they did a little DNA test on a few rosebuds, they would find, yeah. But anyway, moving along.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to behave. I have guests. I'm going to behave.
Guess,
Okay.
guess. We're not guests. We're like
You know
family.
what I mean. I know.
This
You
is
know what I
literally
mean.
our
Don't start
podcast
snapping
too.
on me now. Listen, listen, listen.
This is our podcast too.
I love it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. There you go. Who is
Like
this?
we are literally
Diane?
family.
Yeah, we are. We are. But it's still, I'm very grateful and thankful to you both for agreeing to come on the podcast, because I know that you hadn't done this. So I wasn't really sure how you were going to take it. And I didn't want, I hadn't said anything to anyone else, but I was like, you both said yes so quick. I was like nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to actually have to put this together now.
Yeah.
So,
No, it never even come to my mind that we would say no, Tina. Like it's just like, hey,
Yeah,
we come. Of
we were
course we
never gonna.
would. We had so many guests
Yeah,
who came on that podcast. Of
yeah.
course, there's no.
Well, this
No.
one goes out to you two also. So, Shamira, thank you very much again. And you all were the first to create a space to talk about Harry and Meghan. So, yeah, there's much love for the Sussex Squad podcast. All right, because you were
yeah.
the first out there to um, that truly, no mask have come off, that were like, what was that all about? Which has happened
Yeah.
with other channels. So thank you for that. Namaste.
Yeah, no, some, at the end of the day, we're truly and honestly grateful for this community. And the community has changed quite a bit since it started, but at the end of the day, we're grateful. And
This is
we
cute.
saw what?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
We saw something was wrong and we had to say something. And, we have our ways and our delivery and
Hmm.
whatever, but at the end of the day, we saw something was wrong. We had to say something. And for anyone listening to myself and Michelle's voice out there, and you're a squaddie, and you want to start your own platform, be it a blog, IG. We had nine. Ms. VSNC can tell you, we had 9 platforms at
Hmm.
one point. And because, and in a way, we've been successful in dominating some SEOs when it comes to Harry and Meghan, to kind of help push out their what we think their narrative is, right?
Hmm.
And people reach out to us and be like, man, Michelle and um, Tina and Michelle, you guys really did that with the SEO here, here, here. Because when I do the search in this place, the first thing that
Yeah.
comes up is your stuff. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, mission accomplished. And so
Accomplished.
I say,
Yeah.
yeah, I say all that to say that, if you guys don't be afraid to start your own, but just be careful, protect yourself,
Yeah.
because we're not dealing with normal people. But don't be
Yeah.
afraid to start your own, and don't look at it as a money making adventure, because you will not make money. If you support Harry and Meghan, you're not going to make a lot of money.
No.
Okay, you're not going to make
It's about the
3.4 million
love
dollars.
for them, which,
Yes,
they don't know me from an ant, but it's just the support. And as most know, now, if you're out there and it's your first time, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more content than just
yes, subscribe,
the
please.
Saturday Sussex,
Actually hit
Saturdays that we do.
these members thing. Be a member of the of her channel. You know,
Here goes, here she goes. Let's get ready to say.
what happened?
Tina's gonna crack knuckles in a minute, everybody.
Yeah, like guys, go
Eldridge,
ahead.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eldridge. I see 2 that came through for you. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. Um, okay. I wanted to show you this really quickly. Where to go? Um, that it was cute because it was true to what Diane said. That
Yes.
Harry's like most first-time generation American
Hmm.
immigrants, holding down multiple jobs, working hard, and being successful. Welcome to the USA.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
Yes.
that's what these people don't understand back in the UK, that
Right.
we like the hardworking, the underdog,
Yeah.
and
Right.
they keep making Harry and Meghan the underdog, right? Because there's a whole media that's against them, there's a whole
Yep.
government, and there's a whole 1,000-year institution against them. If they just left Harry and Meghan alone, they probably would get some kind of sympathy, but we're not going to give them this. We're not going to get them the
Tina.
scoop. We're not going to tell them how to actually get people to care about what they are doing. So,
Right. But I find it funny in one aspect also in that um, here's Harry from a country that this country, America, fought a war to separate from. But with
Yeah.
open
yeah,
arms, we have taken him in,
Yeah.
1776.
right, and surrounded him. And basically, for the early settlers, surrounded him with the wagons. And they're like, no, you're not doing anything else. You're not saying it's the wall of protection is up, basically. So, yep. Um, thank you so much. Patricia, thank you so much. You're so sweet for the super sticker. Thank you. All right. To those in the chat, is there any other questions that you have for our wonderful family members, Tina and Michelle?
Yeah, don't call me Gus. I'll
I
fight you.
know, I know, I know. Because if not, we're
I'm like,
almost at
I'm
the
like,
2 hour
you've seen the
mark.
behind the scenes. I'm like,
Yeah,
you've
she's gonna
seen the
get me,
behind the
y'all.
scenes
She's gonna
of
get me,
Sussex
y'all.
Squad
She's gonna
podcast.
get me. She's
You've
gonna
been
get me.
there.
She's
She
gonna get me,
knows, and like
y'all.
Miss VSNC knows how shit runs behind the scenes. Like none
Yes.
of this facade that people try to tell you, oh, Tina and Michelle are scammers. It's not like that.
No,
She
no, no, no,
knows.
no.
She's seen the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Was I ever late
Yeah.
in paying anybody? Never. Like,
No,
like
no. So I mean, and that I take a lot. I do a lot of observation of people first. A lot of people will suggest
mhm,
channels, this and that. I have
mhm,
to observe first, only because of what I dealt with early on and believing
mhm,
that folks were supporters and really weren't. So, um, yeah, but with Tina and Michelle, it wasn't like that. Also, what I see, I didn't really see. If you understand, when you're behind the scenes,
mhm,
there's a trust level.
mhm.
I know nothing. That's how I always behave. I know nothing because I'm not to be out there telling, oh, well, this is what they're doing or this is what they're planning. No, 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 because I wouldn't want that done to me. So,
Yeah.
um, it's just the level of respect that's given is also given back. So, you know,
No, and I'm
um,
happy that we were able to at least come on your podcast, and
I
for your
am
podcast to be
too.
the
I'm
first one that
thankful.
Michelle and I came on. Um, and
I'm
I
honored.
don't know. I'm happy that you decided to start something. I'm happy that you didn't sit back and just be a Twitter finger and just what I mean. Like
Yeah, I
you've
know.
always spoken up, right? You've always
Yeah,
spoken up, not just here. And let me be very clear about Miss VSNC. She's always spoken up on Twitter. She's always spoken up on Instagram, and she's always spoken up on YouTube. Those are the three places I've interacted with her
hmm,
from the beginning, right? And
hmm,
yeah, she might be quiet, but she's always pushed back in her way. And that's important. Like be your individual self
yep.
and see things for what they are and support it, and then do your own thing. And I have to say thank you for starting a platform for people to be able to talk about maybe not just only Harry and Meghan, but other things that they're dealing with in their lives,
Right.
because it's very much needed out here. And thank you for inviting us and thinking that, hey, look, we will be a great contributor to
Of
what you're
course.
doing.
Your
And
voices are the first ones everybody thinks of. I mean, and that's not blowing smoke up your butts. It's the truth. So when I did mention and said to the members, this is who's going to be coming, I hinted But then when I finally had confirmation of a date and time, then I let them know, and they were ecstatic. So, especially those that are squatty. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just one
So
of
I
those
mean, I'm
things.
happy that we are here. I
Thank
wanted
you.
to answer Rosa Roberts' question. What was
Oh,
our
she
very
has a
first
question.
podcast? So our very first
Oh,
podcast, I don't think was the baby shower. There was a podcast before the baby shower, and then I think the baby shower was it? Yes. No.
yeah. You all had it before then because
We had one podcast, and then Thomas Markle did something, and I
yeah, and
remember
Uh,
that
our
was just
second our
I don't.
second
I don't
podcast
want. I
was.
don't even want to be reminded of
I
this.
know,
This one. I
Michelle, but
swear to God.
somebody asked what our first. So I think what happened, I don't remember. I just remember that maybe our first podcast was the baby shower. Maybe it was the baby shower. It might be.
we'll
And
have to
then
go
the
back in the
people,
records and look.
yeah, People Magazine happened. People Magazine happened, and we had to talk about it. That was our second podcast. And then we said we were
Hmm.
not going to talk about this man again. And then something
Yeah,
else
but
happened.
it's no
The
way that you
third
couldn't
podcast.
at the time. Exactly.
Yeah, the third. I know what the podcasts were. I just couldn't tell you which was first. But anyway, the third podcast was us dragging somebody else, and then the fourth
You
podcast,
deserved
the
it.
fourth, fifth, and sixth was them in Morocco. And I remember it was the very first time we had a guest on. Our very
Hmm.
first guest was Vicky, and she was
Hmm.
on the podcast. And then Mary and Vicky did the podcast on the fourth and the no, the fifth and the sixth podcast. So,
I
I
and this
remember we
last,
apologize,
had
Rosa, that I didn't see your question, so I would have highlighted it, but I can't.
Tina. Do you
Oh,
remember
there it
that
is. I see it way
crazy
down here.
podcast we had where we
Where
had like
Let's
ten
see if I look
thousand
at it
people or
again.
something like that?
well, we had 9 people on that podcast, and it was so it was probably our seventh podcast or maybe eighth podcast where we had 9 different people. We were talking about global Sussex baby shower. It was a chaotic
It,
mess. It was in the
It was
middle
it
of
was
the
fun. It
night.
was fun, but it
It
was
was
fun
fun.
for those of us like doing the podcast. But people who listen, I don't know if they enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was chaotic because it was like so many people on the
and-
podcast, and it was the first time we had more than like me, like, and it was Michelle's on there. There was 9 other people. I didn't
right.
even know we could do that. It was so much mess, like we were trying to get it.
Oh yeah,
But
StreamYard is something y'all. If y'all see behind
no,
here, yeah, please.
we didn't even have StreamYard then.
Oh
You have to
wow.
understand, we weren't even using StreamYard at that time. Like we didn't use StreamYard until
Hmm.
a year ago,
Oh
right?
wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we didn't use StreamYard till a year ago, but so we didn't have
Wow.
StreamYard then, and and then I had to edit all of that. So you guys didn't
Yeah.
even get the full chaos.
Yeah.
So
Because
like
they, editing it so that it could go loaded up onto the other platforms that they have. So
exactly, and so you guys
yeah.
didn't even get so like for every hour of edit was every hour of podcast was 3 hours of edit.
Yeah.
Just so you know. But anyway, yeah. So
So
uh I say all that to say that Ms. VSNC, I'm happy because we don't have to
oh,
do
thank you.
podcasts. We don't have to do. Me and Michelle
You
don't do
guys can now
more.
just be guests. You can be guests on different. Mind you, your DMs are probably going to blow up because people are going, "Oh, y'all do interviews? Awesome!"
I mean, people have asked. I don't know if people have asked us, but like, okay, so we don't like some people in the squad don't like us, right? So technically, me and Michelle, well, me don't have like really good reputation. So some people probably don't feel comfortable asking us because they're like scared that we will bring like we will bring madness to their podcast, whatever it is. Some people have asked us, and
Hmm.
but it's like we don't know you, so
Right. So it's hard
I'm
to
not even
really know what you're walking into.
exactly. So like there are
Yeah,
people who have
I get
asked
it.
us, or whatever, and then like the podcast that we don't need to go on. Like V's podcast,
Mm.
I don't need to go on V's podcast. I don't want to hear my voice when I'm listening
It
to
doesn't
her.
matter if you
Literally,
need to go on it or not, that you think. It would be awesome.
no, but
That
no,
would
no,
be
no.
awesome.
V, mm-mm. I listen to V's podcast. I don't listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
Does
Her
that make
voice.
sense? Like this
Yes.
podcast, I'm not going to listen back to.
Now listen here.
So,
No, I'm
so
kidding.
I listen to V's podcast. I don't want to be on her podcast because then I can't listen to like probably an amazing podcast because my dumb ass is on
Oh,
there just yelling,
stop.
drinking.
Stop. It's you're just fine. You're just fine. Now, I do want to highlight this really quick and then try to move through the comments and see if there's anything else. So, Diane said that New York City is bidding for the next Invictus Games.
Yes, I hope we get it.
Yeah.
I hope we get it.
Okay, would you
I'll
be there,
be there.
Tina?
I'll go. Yes, I'll be there, but you guys will not know I'm there.
I know. Well, some of y'all may not. I might even go into New York for that, please.
Yeah, you might stay with me, but
Yeah.
y'all
I
ain't
need
gonna know that.
others. Yeah. There you go. Hopefully Michelle would come and all that. I do want to say Dara
Wait,
again. There you
when
go.
should
This
it?
is
When
for
would
you.
it be? When would it be in terms
This
of
is
the
like
year?
It's every
maybe
2 years.
so it'd be
Is it
like
every 2 years?
2024 or something like that.
No,
Yeah, because
because no. I think there's one in Germany in 2 years or
Yes,
next year. What? Right?
next
I
oh,
don't
so
year.
know.
then it
Next
would
year.
be
I
It's
think
yeah.
next year.
I think
The
it's
one
for
in Germany is
20
next year.
German next. Okay,
Excuse
maybe
my
it has
dog.
to be. My guess is probably either 2024, as you said, maybe 2025. Yeah.
Because they moved the one that was supposed to happen last year to this
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
They
And then
moved it from what 2020? Wasn't it supposed to be 2020?
no 2021.
Okay, and then they postponed it, and now I mean it seems to
Mhm.
still be going forward. Crossing fingers
Mhm.
with the cousins and uncles and aunts of that virus. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
Mhm.
Dara, thank you so much. This was a great and nice to hear Tina and Michelle. Thank you. And then Bright Eyes PBJ. Okay. Thank you for the super sticker. I like reading some of the names. They're just different. Let me see. We already saw that one, already talked about that one. You all probably have seen
PBJ
stuff
is
on.
peanut butter and jelly, right?
Yes, that's what it usually stands for. We're going to leave it
It's
that that's
peanut
what it
butter
means.
jelly time. Peanut jelly time.
mm, oh, one of the first I heard was Kanan unable taking the empty planes nowhere. Oh, that was one of the first podcasts you
That
heard?
was
Yeah.
in the
Let me
summer. That
just
was
tell
in the
you,
summer of 2019.
that
It
was
was in the summer of
priceless.
2019. Yeah, we had a lot of jams before that. You should go listen to that.
Ooh, my goodness, yes. And see, I will say this. I used to come into their chats and just chat and be talking and all that stuff. And then one day I came in and I was a mod. I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah, because
So
we
I
didn't have
just
we didn't know
yeah,
what was okay. So like guys, we have to tell you this. I have to tell you the story. Michelle probably doesn't even know the story. So like I didn't know the first time we did premiere. I didn't know what premiere was, right? Like, and we still don't know how to run a live stream, by the way, because since in our hiatus, I watched other live streams and I'm like, oh, that's how you're supposed to run a live stream. I did not know
oh stop.
this is how, but no, I still don't know. So like, I didn't know certain things. But anyway, so one time I did a premiere, but I never actually sat in for the premiere because I didn't know what premiere was. And then the next time I just happened to sit in for it and I was like, oh, people are watching it live as it happens. And
hmm
then Miss VSNC was in there, a few other people were in there. And then I started doing more premieres because I was like, oh, this is fun. It's like we're watching it, even though I've
Yep.
seen it because
Real
obviously I'm
time.
the
Right.
I'm the person who edits it. But I'm like, oh, people are commenting as they're hearing stuff. And then I started noticing that there were trolls in there and I couldn't catch them quick enough and people will catch them. So I started making certain people mods to help me. Like people like faces I've seen before
hmm It's
online, wherever. I was like,
observation. Exactly.
yeah,
That was my point. Like you never know who is watching your
hmm
activity online on social media, different platforms. So just be mindful of that because there's eyes everywhere. And I had no idea that me chatting it up and just seeing me on Twitter or wherever that eyes had been on me. And then it was like, oh, she would be good to moderate because it is, you can't just give everybody a wrench. I'm just saying. Um, you just have to trust that they handle your platform accordingly. So, and it was a lot. They do have a lot of trolls. And I will say this, she was very concerned with coming today or doing the conversation only because of the trolls. And as you can see, there's a lot more in the clouds listening, and I'm grateful for everybody that is. But I gave her assurances on how things were going to
I
happen.
was like,
And
you
she
got
was
to
like,
handle the
moderate.
trolls.
Yeah.
Moderate. There has to be moderation. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Like I'm scared of troll because it's not that I'm scared of them, but I'm like, no,
But
they
you
don't get
know from
they don't
history
get to
how
take
they can handle.
over. Yes, they
Right.
don't get to take over a chat. Like, no. And you've
Right.
seen it. You've seen it
Yeah.
as a
Oh,
moderator. Like,
definitely. So that's
no.
one reason in the way that it's being done today, is a way to control a lot of that. And, um, you know, I just gave assurances and I'm just really, really glad that you're on it. Yeah, there you go. Moderators would have been ready. Zoom. So, I'm sure there are a lot of questions by people that are,
Let me see.
subscribers or whatever. I'm going
Yeah.
to, because we've been on 2 hours. See, this is how it normally is, y'all. If you haven't never sat on one of their podcasts, it could be another 2 hours just having conversation. But I don't want to, take up too much more time of
I
everybody.
mean, all
So
I'm going to do is go sleep. Like, literally, I'm drinking wine and
listen, that's okay too. I have my dog. One dog is crying. I need to check on
I
my
heard it.
dad. Yeah, and
Hmm.
she wants to go to the mailbox. She has a daily walk up to the mailbox, so it's her time frame where she starts that crying. But yeah. So, oh, she didn't have to sip moonshine. See, this is Church Nelly. Church Nelly
Not
and the
see,
moonshine.
you see what? Yeah, we can't take her anywhere. We gotta take her out
Oh
twice.
my
Once to go.
gosh, this is it. Wouldn't have her any other way. But ladies, is there anything else you would like to share or say?
Michelle, I'll let Michelle go first. I've been talking too much.
No, go ahead.
See, that's Michelle's favorite line. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tina.
She's
Or
not
go,
going
I
to.
mean,
Harriet.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we started what we started, and that we've accomplished what we have accomplished. And I couldn't have done it with a better partner, sister, friend than Michelle. I couldn't have done it with a better group of people as the Sussex Squad. Um, and I'm happy that our faves are no longer in the chaotic, toxic mess that they were
Hmm.
in. And I can only wish for just more growth, more awesomeness for our faves. That's it. That's all I have.
Okay.
Same.
Say a little something in French in case somebody is sitting out there.
Oh. Ah, je sais pas si on a des francophones dans le chat. I don't know what to say. I always forget what to say in French. It sounds so weird every time. Bon, mais merci à tous d'avoir écouté. Voilà.
Okay.
Here you go.
That sounded beautiful. I have no idea what she said, everybody.
I just
But
said
it
thank you.
sounded beautiful.
I just said thank you for listening.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Lydia is saying thank you to you both.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
Yes,
listening,
I'm
guys.
Tiffany.
I'm
Tiffany
so
will
thankful for
continue to
you.
thrive. She is drinking wine right now and
Tits out.
drunk, probably tits out. Well, her tits are not
Listen,
out yet. We're not that
oh,
drunk yet.
there you go. Oh, and it's so funny because Tiffany is one of the members have not yet used the you have the emojis. So I'm just putting them up so that you can see because I
Mm-hmm.
had to I had to include Tiffany in the emoji for this Sussex Saturday. So yeah. If you become a member, you get access to those. Otherwise,
Wait,
so
we don't
sorry.
even have that for our members. I need to give
I'm
them
just
Tiffany.
saying.
Touch
You
Nelly
have
can
to
be a
give,
Tiffany
yes,
member.
you come on, you have to, I immediately thought of you too, and I'm like, Tiffany, she has to be. I mean, I
Yeah,
even
that when I
sent a
tell you that I
message
don't know
saying,
how
hey,
to.
by the way, I'm using
By the
Tiffany,
way,
don't get mad.
oh, I can't even remember. Girl, please. Like Tiffany wasn't even my thing. It was somebody else, and I saw it. And I was like, I love this person, and I didn't even know who Tiffany was. I just loved the fact that Tiffany was
Right,
living her best life.
there you
But
go.
yeah, I don't even know how to run a podcast. Like, let me tell you
Oh,
guys, like
stop
live stream. I don't
it.
know that shit. No,
Oh,
I
stop
learned
it.
like in our hiatus, I learned that holy shit, Tina, you've been doing this wrong. Like, look at all
Oh,
this live stream
stop.
channel.
Stop it.
I'm annoyed.
Listen, I do hope, Mrs. S, that they will. I'm sure they will grace us again in the future,
Hmm.
um, especially before they do their sundowning of the Sussex Squad podcast, which will have to be a big, 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 big to do. So, we'll have to do a lot of laughter to compensate for the tears that we're going to be shedding. But
Somebody
let
said,
me
when is
see.
Tina Michelle?
What is this?
Somebody asked the
BCL
question.
What is BCL?
back. I'm guessing it's back.
Oh, maybe
Was a
that's what it is.
typo.
Oh yeah, I don't know. When
I
are we
don't
back? I
know.
don't know. Michelle, we gotta talk about that. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
traveling next weekend. I mean, I could do it next weekend. I just have to do it East Coast or West Coast time. I'll be in the West Coast next weekend. So
Okay.
You all will work
it's
it out,
hard.
and
It's hard, like
we'll be
running.
there. You know that
Like yeah,
we will all be
yeah. It would
there.
be like let's see. So Michelle is 6 hours ahead of me. So she'll be 9 hours ahead of me next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just a
We'll
matter
see.
of working
We'll,
that
do-
It's
piece.
a
we can
lot.
still
Oh
do.
my God, 9 hours. It's a lot.
Yeah, we can still do it the same time that we're doing it, which will be. We'll figure it out. I just need to know.
Diane, you're
And
being
then,
messy.
what's
Diane,
Diane doing?
you're being messy. I love it,
Oh,
but
we
you're
have
being
our own.
messy. Tina and Michelle, could we hold our own jubilee and spell it correctly?
Listen, I don't want. I listen. I feel like we need to like
It
erase this word from
has
the
to be
dictionary.
big. It has to be big,
Did you
lady.
see? Did you see that their
It was
contractors in
spelt
China
it's spelt
had it
wrong,
doubly?
yes. Oh my gosh. There was a
So
comment
we can
earlier, but yeah,
What did
I
they
did.
do?
Mhm.
What did they do?
this jubilee wrong is doubly. It's
And yeah, so
Jubbly.
all their
So
memorabilia is
you
basically
know
got
what,
error,
Michelle?
a spell.
Next week, next
Oh, I
Sunday, we're
had
gonna
no
have.
idea.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
Michelle, we're gonna have our own podcast. Our first podcast of the year is going to be Tina and Michelle Jubbly.
Oh, that's gonna be so funny. That
No,
would be
we're
so
doing
funny.
it.
Thank you,
We're
Nutty
doing it.
Doctor.
We're
Tina
we're,
and
we're doing it.
Michelle. Miss you so much. You left a void in my Sundays. Yeah, I tried to have my
Okay,
little
we're doing it.
Sundays, but I have to get back to that. But once you all are cleared, and I
So
don't
that'll be
compete
like
with you at all. I know better.
three. Let's see. What time do I do it? We do it 10 a.m. So
Hmm.
that would be 7 a.m. my time in the East Coast. So I'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. I mean, I'll
They
talk to Michelle.
misspelled
We'll
Jubilee and put Jubilee on it.
Jubbly, yes.
I
So
had
we're
no
gonna
idea they did that.
no, Michelle, I'm going to set it up right now. And I'm just
Okay.
going to be like Tina and Michelle's 3-year jubbly.
There you go, everybody. You're first to know. Oh my gosh! And you've set
Oh my goodness.
you set the wheels in motion. All right,
Oh my
so
goodness. This is
I'm gonna begin
perfect.
my outro music, but keep talking.
No, thank you guys so much. And Michelle, I want Michelle to talk. I can't keep talking. I'm drunk.
No, that's good. What is
Oh my God! It's my outro music. This is
okay?
what
I
I
was
do.
like,
You're
what is
used
this
to it.
music?
Yes, this is how
You
I
guys know.
close out Sussex Saturday. You all have truly made the day, week, month, year so far. So I do again thank you, thank you, thank you from the members. They're all loving it, and yeah, we're gonna be looking forward to when your podcast gets scheduled up, and then when I can get you back and have some time again with you all. So
Bye bye,
No, thank you
guys.
for having us. Bye,
oh,
guys, and thank you for
okay. Now,
having us, Miss
Michelle, you have to
Yeah.
say
VSNC.
your famous line.
Okay, no, no. Okay, I'm gonna say what I always say. Thank you so much to member. Thank you so much to moderator. Thank you so much, Mrs. VS, for inviting us, me and Tina. Thank you, Tina. And as Megan would always say, no bad energy. Bye.
No bad energy, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.